Welcome to the Mostly PT podcast. I'm Brant Bomert.
And I'm Alex Bressman.
And today's episode is not sponsored by
Magic 8 Ball. When your life's in a crisis, ask the 8 Ball. What should we ask it? Will we ever, gotta ask it a channel question. What should we ask it?
Will there ever be comments that aren't related to our feet for the next episodes?
Will there ever be comments that are not related to their feet in the next episodes of the Mostly PT podcast? Yes. Not even one of the fun answers, it's just yes.
Okay.
All right. We're back.
We're back. MPT review. I didn't
Episode
say board review questions.
Episode
27.
27. For all you
9 times 3.
mathematicians at home, that's 3 cubed.
3 cubed?
3 cubed.
Oh, yeah.
3 times 3 times 3. Ready? You ready? You locked in?
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Question number 1 from October 18th. A physical therapist treats a patient who has multiple myeloma. Which of the following systems should the therapist expect to be targeted once the symptoms of the disease begin? A. Musculoskeletal. B. Cardiovascular. C. Integumentary. D. Neurologic.
Integumentary.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Wait. Multiple myeloma?
Myeloma. Myeloma?
What's the question asking?
Not,
I already got it wrong, but...
not melanoma.
I thought that's what you said.
Myeloma.
What systems would...
It would be affected.
And it's myeloma.
Myeloma. Myeloma.
Muscles. Musculoskeletal.
Correct.
Okay.
It's not muscles, it's bone cancer though.
Well, I got that wrong regardless.
Primarily
So,
malignant cancer of plasma cells within the bone marrow.
it's malignant?
Malignant. It is malignant. It is deadly. Question number 2 from October 19th, 2025. A physical therapist observes a wound
I
that
don't
is...
even want to do the question. I already got one wrong.
Oh, no. A physical therapist observes a wound that is noticeably red, slightly shiny, and mildly moist. What is the therapist most likely observing? A. Slough. B. Granulation tissue. C. Necrotic tissue. Or D. Exposed tendon.
Can you explain the...
Red, slightly shiny, mildly moist.
Granulation tissue?
That is correct. Which means what?
What does it mean?
Yeah,
It's red, moist, and shiny.
Yeah, but like...
It means it's healing.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. Final question to go 2 for 3 for Brant.
I feel like that's my average. It's 2 for 3.
You've gone 3 for 3 sometimes.
Thanks.
I'm not questioning why you're a licensed physical therapist. From October 20th, 2025, a physical therapist employed in a rehabilitation hospital examines a patient that exhibits several signs and symptoms of anemia. Which question would be the most useful to gather additional information related to the anemia?
Are you anemic?
That's a great answer, but it's unfortunately not one of the listed answers.
What's your... Okay, just go.
A. Does it hurt to take a deep breath? B. Do you experience heart palpitations or shortness of breath at rest or with mild exertion?
It's probably that, but...
C. Do you frequently experience dizziness, headaches, or blurred vision? Or D. Are you susceptible to bruising?
Wow, this is actually a pretty good question.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I did it.
Is it a type of anemia?
It just says anemia.
Okay, so the answer is it bruising? Or do you have palpitations? Can you read the answers again?
A. Does it hurt to take a deep breath?
I'm
B.
gonna go with that's not the right answer.
I will give you a hint. That is correct.
No, don't give me hints.
Okay, no hints. B. Do you experience heart palpitations or shortness of breath at rest or with mild exertion? C. Do you frequently experience dizziness, headaches, or blurred vision? Or D. Are you susceptible to bruising? Ten seconds.
I'm gonna go palpitations.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Great job. I answered C.
That would be my second guess.
I was between those two.
It's more of a migraine.
We actually, in our final board review, like the cumulative PPP exam, where we got practice questions like that was one of the questions. It was
you got it wrong.
Almost word for word, and I still couldn't remember.
So you got them both wrong.
What?
So you got it wrong twice.
In a lifespan, yeah.
In a lifespan, you got it wrong twice. Okay.
I should have learned from my mistake.
That brings me to another topic here. Would you rather?
Oh, here we go.
We got a couple of them today.
We have two. We do have two.
Would you rather never age physically or mentally? I'm going to go with mentally. Because that is my greatest strength.
Your brain?
Yes.
That's what you think your greatest strength is? I would argue that, but okay. So you don't age. You don't age physically or mentally from your current age today.
So currently, it starts now.
Starts right now.
So I might be losing some muscle right now at this very moment since I'm not moving.
And now it stops.
So you are keeping your muscle.
I'm going physically, yeah.
You want to stay at your physique right now when you're bulking?
It doesn't mean you can't change your physique. It just means you don't age.
Yeah. I just don't want Alzheimer's, and I also don't want dementia, and I'm thinking about long term. Now, when we get to a certain age, 70, 80 years old, do you think people really care about how big your bicep is?
I'm not talking about like physique-wise. I'm just saying like the ability to get up and move. Number one predictor of, or not number one predictor, but a predictor of life expectancy is quadricep strength.
But the thing is, like,
plus,
you're still gonna die at the age that you're going to die. That's not.
But I could be.
It's not gonna help you with health.
I could go and run a mile at the age of 85 if I was.
Guess what? You could be the healthiest man alive, and you still die from whatever you're gonna die from, because that wouldn't change.
But you could die at 30, and it wouldn't matter. So would you rather?
And you could die at 30, it wouldn't matter. So
right. So if you're gonna die,
I'd rather die smart than die dumb.
I would argue you're not smart right now.
I'd want to remember my death.
Why would you want to remember your death?
I'd want to remember the people around me. I'd want to remember, hey, there's my brother. I know who he is. When you're just like, I'm not going to provide an example.
But I'm in great physical shape.
And no one cares about that.
But like leading up to my death,
hey Alex, how are you doing?
I could go.
I just hit 300 pounds at the bench. And then you can't like say anything because your brain's just deteriorating.
Here's what trumps everything. Here's what trumps.
You know how weird it would look for you to just be a perfect physique, really
really
healthy, and just have the brain of a 7-year-old?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like,
hey there, Timmy, how's it going? You know, that's a worst case scenario when you're older.
Okay, but what's a
best case for me is
what's a preventative factor for Alzheimer's and dementia? Exercise. If you can't,
doesn't matter. You're gonna deteriorate.
But mentally, yes. But if I'm able to continue exercising,
the answer is lifestyle factors.
Right. So if I'm able to continue exercising, that's like the greatest preventer of everything is physical exercise.
And like I said before, right now, let's say we know what you're gonna die from. You're dead from that regardless.
Okay.
That's the stipulation too.
Okay.
It's the one factor that's changing is, are you changing physically or mentally? That's it. Does not change anything else in your life.
What age would it have to be where you know you're going to die where you would pick physically over mentally? 50?
Probably 45.
Okay.
Because then I feel like after 45, no one really cares how you look. Or I know you care.
I'm not going off of the how I look, or like what did I look like. Period.
But when I think physically, I'm thinking physically. What do you physically look like? I'm not thinking about the health benefits because it doesn't matter because the only factor that's changing is you physically, not cardiovascular, like not actually like healthier.
I'm saying like I'm gonna be able to get out of a chair at the age of 87 if I live to 87.
Guess what? I'll be smart as frick. I'll be able to come up with something that's going to make me stand up. Well, they already have that.
Plus, I could get stronger because I'm not aging physically.
Well,
I could be the world's strongest 74-year-old.
Yeah, and who's going to care about that other than other 74-year-olds that are other strong men? Strong men, Alex. I'm also thinking worst case scenario, like you're going to have Alzheimer's. I'm going to have like...
It's not a guarantee that you have Alzheimer's.
I know, I'm just thinking worst case scenario. You have to consider worst case scenarios when you're thinking about these would you rather
Worst case
questions.
scenario is we die
Worst case
tomorrow.
scenario, you get Alzheimer's. Worst case scenario, we die tomorrow.
We die tomorrow and it doesn't matter. And you didn't age mentally for one singular day. Congratulations.
And you didn't get any stronger for one single day. We're going to move on to the next would you rather. Cheapers. This is a good one.
This is a great
You got to really think about this next one.
I have an answer.
Would you rather own a zoo with no animals or own an amusement park with no rides?
Amusement park. Easy.
I'm going to go with the zoo.
Why? You just have pictures of animals.
And I have nature.
But there's no animals, so you could have trees and stuff, but you don't get
cool
birds.
trees.
You don't get birds. That's not a zoo anymore.
You have some concrete. Well, what's amusement park? Let's say you take all the rides out. Valley Fair, for example. Let me talk.
Okay.
Valley Fair, for example. You take out all the rides. You're left with a few poles.
You still serve.
A few poles and some concrete.
You can still serve food, fair food. What do you think a museum is? It's an amusement park with no rides. You go there for your amusement and education and knowledge.
Most education and knowledge. We're not talking about a museum.
Well, okay.
I'm talking about the Valley Fair. When I think of amusement park, I'm thinking of Six Flags.
Six Flags, Valley Fair.
With 0 flags.
But like, if there would be no rides there's still things to go and look at. Like,
yeah, there is. Like what? A pole? Hey, look, a nice light pole.
I think
that's a nice light pole. That's some nice concrete.
Let's
Is it made out of granite?
Think of it this way, please. Newspaper headline. Amusement park with no rides opens. And zoo with no animals opens. Which one are you like, oh, I gotta go see that?
You know what?
That's an amusement park. You'd be like,
thank you for bringing up that point. In today's world, virtual reality is a thing.
Right.
I could have a zoo with just virtual animals. That is not a real animal. But I could have videos of animals.
I could have
the animals would be better than actual real animals because they're not going to kill you. You could have people go in, walk in, they could have the VR goggles on, they could pet a nice deer, a nice bear, a zebra. Not going to hurt them.
What's the difference from me having like the roller coaster thing on VR? Same thing?
No, you can. I don't think that's as great as experience.
Okay, well now we're going to cop out with VR. Because we're both just going to go VR.
That's not copping out. You can go VR. I don't think the VR is going to be that much more beneficial to you than it is to me. It's going to be more beneficial to me.
Does a pool count? Is that an attraction?
That counts. You got amusement park full of pools. A
It's
glorified
it's a water
hotel.
Park. It's a water park.
It's a water park with no slides. You just have a pool.
You just got pools.
You just have a pool.
And you can't jump into the pool.
It's a hotel without a building.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun time.
You wouldn't want to go to the pool amusement park?
No, I don't really.
But there's carnival games and stuff.
Honestly, I think the virtual zoo is a better option because one, the animals aren't stuck in cages. So that's better for the public. Two, kids aren't going to be eaten. And they can go and hang out with the monkeys.
No one.
Three, I could have the most exotic animals in my zoo without actually feeding them. This is I think we might be coming up with a grand idea. I might go into zoology.
Who's we? This is your idea. This is your $1 million idea that you can run straight.
I'm glad we talked about this because I think that is better than a regular zoo.
I totally disagree. Besides the animals in captivity thing, that's probably a good thing. But you could have all these exotic animals and you're saying you won't have to feed them and stuff, but
the one downside was I wouldn't be able to be in my own zoo.
Because you're
an animal.
Because you're a dog?
Because I'm an animal.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What amusement parks?
You don't have a rebuttal for this.
Amusement parks. Just listen, please.
Amusement park.
Stop. Amusement parks. You can go and play carnival games, still win prizes, you can still eat food, you can still have a good time, you just can't ride any rides.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
like
right.
going to your county fair.
Yeah, it
You don't go on the one ride that they bring in.
just doesn't sound that fun to me. Maybe good for toddlers.
What about like you go eat at the food stand?
Yeah, or I could
don't
just
know
go
if
to my nearest McDonald's instead of going to the amusement park 4 hours away to go eat a corn dog. You know, or you could go to my virtual reality zoo filled with the most exotic animals in the world.
Is Brant gonna go broke by trying to make a virtual reality zoo?
I'm just saying the answer is so good that it actually might be a thing.
You may rely on it.
I might rely on it.
No,
After I'm retired from physical therapy.
When you hit the ripe age of 65 and you're all mentally there, you're gonna go open up your
This
VR
is
zoo.
exactly why I would want to be mentally strong my entire life.
It's all coming
For
together.
this example right here.
And I could be the world's strongest 75-year-old, and that would be an event.
Speaking of strength, we're going to talk about some impressive lifts.
What a transition.
It was.
That was a great transition.
I'm really trying here.
I can tell.
For all the people at home, what do you think, considering we're going to stick with our age, 27, 20, 25?
18 to
Are you
25.
25?
No, I'm not 25.
24?
No.
23.
There you go.
All right, I've just
See-
figured out how old Alex is.
18 to 25. Well, you could say adult.
18 to 25.
Adult.
No, that's too vague.
18 to 25?
18 to 25-year-olds. What do you think is an impressive lift for bench, squat, and deadlift? Max.
You're at
1 RM.
your athletic prime.
1 RM.
I have a piece of information. Kind of. I don't know if I would go as to say impressive, but I would say is average to above average, which would be your bench would be your body weight, would be considered a good.
You're changing the question.
No, I'm saying not.
What should be? They already have averages for bench, squat, and deadlift.
I'm like what's like if you're under these numbers, I wouldn't be impressed at all.
Oh, okay. It's a weird way of saying it.
Well,
but yeah.
you don't want to ever be like, oh yeah, you're weak.
What's a good weight for bench, squat, and deadlift to where, hey, you're probably an athlete?
From what I've heard or what I was told, bench is your body weight, and a good bench, and a good squat is like 2 times your body weight. Deadlift, not sure how that really applies. 2.5.
What does Alex think?
Bench, I think the whole gym community is still 225. But it's kind of leaning towards like, because you see all these fitness influencers and they're throwing up 405 on incline, and it's kind of like shifting towards like a good flat bench is 315, which is actually insane because 0.0025% of the population can bench 225,
Including babies.
3% of gym goers in the world can bench 225, which I would say that's impressive. You can lift a weight 3% of the people.
225?
225. Think about you go into a public gym. When's the last time you were in a public gym?
Yesterday.
How many people do you think in there can bench 225? What percentage? In my
Maybe
head,
one person.
like when I went today, I'd say 10. Maybe.
Out of how many people in the gym?
10%.
Okay.
Maybe even less than that. I think 3 is probably a pretty good estimate.
300
3%
of average gym goers.
average gym goers. I think that's pretty accurate.
I think 225 is a bar that's like, hey, you lift. You lift.
You've met the
Depending on
you're a bro.
depending on some factors like BMI.
You're a bro.
Are you trying to dab me up?
Yes. Have you hit 225 yet?
Hit that out of the womb.
Oh,
I think when I hit 225 when I was a sophomore in high school.
That's kind of nuts.
It just didn't seem like that much weight.
It's just too light. for
No,
you?
that sounds like I'm
an
an ego, but
it just didn't seem like that heavy to me. Like everyone else was struggling, and I just
well, like
kinda
you just
pressed it.
all you have to do is just stay consistent, and if you keep your mass up like 170, 180. 225 is almost the same as that's basically a little bit more than your body weight.
Okay. Let's do it this way. You walk into a public gym, bench, squat, deadlift. What weights are you looking at someone doing and being like, oh, that's weight. Like that guy's moving some weight, or woman.
I would say
for
if
benches,
you got 3 plates on and you're 180, $190.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
It's 315 is like the
now if you're
okay.
If you're a heftier individual, not as impressive.
Yeah, but like 315 is 315. Like just because you're 260 with a BMI or like a body like 30% body fat. Well, that's like powerlifting stuff.
I mean, think about it. Heftier individuals, 260.
Well, mass
they hit
weight,
300. That's just a little bit more than what their weight is.
That's why like going back to your body weight, like a 165 pounder benching 165, like that's impressive.
Not really.
That's like the good bench. They get the 225.
That means like, hey, they've probably been in the gym a couple months.
Right. Squat. What are you seeing on the bar where you're like, oh?
You don't see very many people max squatting nowadays.
Yeah, I have. There's one
like
individual.
true barbell squat.
It's not. It's a dying culture, I guess you could say. There's one guy that goes to my public gym who throws 405 on and reps it, and I kind of stop and watch it.
How much? Which is like how tall?
Oh, he's 6'4", 260 probably. Which I mean, large human.
I mean, the fact that he's actually doing 405 for squat
for reps is pretty nuts.
Yeah. I would say once you're up to the 400s for squat. Yeah. Well, regardless of weight, just the fact that because no one does that much for squatting ever. I don't see people doing it.
No,
that's pretty impressive.
Four plates, anything.
Impressive, just mentally.
Okay, how about deadlift?
Deadlift. I also don't see that's very seldom.
500 is my answer. Maybe 450
with straps or without.
It doesn't matter.
It does, but it's a different conversation.
Well, I'm saying my impressiveness hasn't changed much. If it's bare, no straps, I mean that adds to it a little bit. But if you're pulling 500, you're pulling 500.
I would still think the 400s is impressive.
I think
just because it's very. No one does it, or I never see anyone do it. Everyone tries to bench a lot.
Yeah, I've seen people squat more than deadlift. That's because I got a quote from one guy that was bodybuilder, powerlifter guy. He said, anything that you deadlift over 405 is not an accomplishment. The major accomplishment, you didn't hurt yourself while you're doing it.
I don't know if I like that quote.
Why?
Why?
Like anything over 405, you're like.
But that's like kind of saying, oh, you're like the likelihood of people getting injured with that is pretty high.
Any injury is possible with max. You
think you're more likely to get injured from max deadlift bench or max squat or deadlift compared to a bench?
Yes.
Why do you think that?
In that order, I think. I think deadlift is the most injury prone because it usually is the heaviest lift. Like people can, out of the 3 lifts, they can deadlift the most. Yes.
You know why I think the main factor is with why people get injured more with squat and deadlift when they're trying to lift a lot compared to bench?
Why is that?
Just like we talked about, people are benching a whole lot more than they are squatting and deadlifting. How many times do you come in or you see someone, I hurt my back. I tried to do deadlifts for the first time in a while. No one ever says, I arched my back a little bit too much on my bench press. I hurt my back. Or
it happens.
Yeah, I'm saying how often.
I agree with you.
Because everyone's always benching.
I think it's like, you're saying the incidence is higher because people are bench more.
I'm saying when you don't do something and then you go and do it at a high amount of weight, high amount of load,
fair, yeah.
Likelihood of injuring yourself goes higher. That's why when gardening season comes around, people's knees are hurting because they haven't gardened since last year.
That's a fair point. I
have no idea if that's the actual answer.
I think it's just weight correlation. I think the most amount of weight possible that you can.
But you're using more muscles with squat and deadlift compared to bench press.
Right, but
your output is the same as like what you're pressing against.
I can deadlift over 100 pounds more than I can squat, right? So just by that alone, lifting 100 more pounds automatically makes the injury risk higher. It's heavier weight. Like, sometimes your body just gets hurt because of the actual load that it has to actually move. You know what I'm saying? But that's my argument.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good argument.
Well, what about form?
But like, think about how much weight is underneath the bar. How much weight is underneath the bar when you bench compared to how much weight you're underneath the bar? You know, like not that much, half your body compared to squat. Squat, your whole body's underneath, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Can we agree that it's not bench? It's squat or deadlift?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You could convince me that squat's most commonly injured. Just because I think people, like, once they get in the hole, if you don't squat a lot and you're in the hole and you just try to start moving in ways you haven't moved before, that's where stuff gets kind of hairy.
It's hard to squat to the max without a
Whereas
spotter, right? You're kind of screwed.
Right.
Like, what are you gonna do? Try to jump underneath or jump forward?
Just stand up.
That's hard. Compared to bench press,
like
sometimes you can like let it. I mean, depending on how much weight. If you do a lot of weight and you don't have a spotter, I usually don't put the clips on, so you can just go.
You can guillotine it. That's what it's called.
I don't know, it's guillotine, but
just a pro tip for everyone out there: if you're like failing a lift, just lift it.
We're not.
So
we're not medical experts.
So like for example, you got 315 on the bar bench press, right? And you get down deep in, you touch your chest, you're ready to go, and it's just not going to move, and you're like, oh no, I don't have a spotter with me, I can't get to the safeties, what do I do? You just lift the weight, and then you just rack it. That's how you get out of it.
Is this a joke?
Yes. It's
okay.
Satire.
Don't do that at home, people.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't lift without a spotter either.
Don't lift.
No, lift.
No, lift.
Please lift.
Lift.
You want to get into form? Because I had a piggyback argument about it.
Argument about what?
Because, like, the reason why...
Well, let's just ask the question.
Ask the question first.
How much would you consider form being a factor with efficiency of the lift? And we could go injury risk with bench, squat, and deadlift.
Efficiency, 100%, it's squat. Like, my numbers went up just by adding heel lifts. You know, just like biomechanically wise.
Adding heel lifts?
Yeah.
Like heel elevated squat?
Yeah.
It went up?
Yeah. Because I'm able to get deeper into the squat and generate more force going up.
So you think if you had 400 pounds on the bar and you elevated your heels, you'd be able to get it up easier?
Yeah. 100%.
Have you tried it?
I did it today, and then
400?
No, 275.
Yeah, I'm saying closer to your max. We're talking about max, not just.
Yeah, I when I max out in December, I'm definitely going to do heel elevated.
Let me know how it goes.
I'll send you a video. Anyways,
that's gonna put a lot more load through your quads more than anything else.
Right, and I want my quads
which would
to
make
be strong.
it less efficient.
But if my quads are stronger than my glutes, then why would I not try to do that? Why would I not try to lift with the heaviest muscle? Plus, you're not completely turning the glutes off.
I would just say you probably want to even it out. That's why you want the bar path.
Well, that's why you don't. That's why I'm not like going 2 inches. You know, I'm trying to find the right depth.
This is a prime example why squat's probably the one where you want good form.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, what is good form? Is there good form is different for everybody? But here's. Did I talk about this quote earlier? On the
I don't know, Alex. Let's hear the quote.
There's a
lot of quotes.
There's 100 ways to do something, but you can definitely tell when someone's doing it wrong. Did I ever say that?
No, that's a good one.
That's a good quote, isn't it? Like you can deadlift, you can squat, different foot angles, you can evert your foot, you can hinge more, you can bend your knees more, you can go high bar. There's 100 different ways to squat, but you can see someone visibly doing something and you're like, yeah, that's not right. I think that's a good argument that I have. I think that's more of the be okay with the gray area. It's like you can do things many different ways, but there's definitely wrong ways to do things.
Yeah.
So
depending how long they've been doing it wrong.
Right. Maybe it just looks right because they're so good at it. That's my thing with like deadlift.
They're pigeon
like if you're gonna deadlift and you're gonna go like max spinal flexion and like you can still get the weight up because your back's that strong, but that's why I'm saying like you could pull 500 pounds with spinal flexion involved and it looks like you're gonna hurt yourself, but your back's just so strong it doesn't matter to get the weight up anyway.
So therefore, deadlift,
I think
it matter for form,
is the least most important.
for performance or injury? I feel like that's a dumb question because
That's
because
tough.
injury would probably determine how long you've been doing it that way.
Right.
And the more weight you have on, usually form is going to change whether your form is terrible or great. The form's going to change.
Yeah.
And once your body adapts at a high load, your body's not used to doing it that way at that high load, and I feel like that's when injuries occur.
I think bench matters the least because the actual range of motion is the smallest.
Yeah, there's less joints involved.
Right.
So you have more joints involved, therefore higher complexity. Probably
if
you need to work a little bit more on form
you
efficiency.
think about it that way, just right there, like bench is shoulder. I mean, maybe if you want to involve the
No, I
wrist.
wouldn't involve wrist.
So shoulder, elbow, and squat is hip, knee, and ankle.
Yeah.
Deadlift is, I guess, hip, knee, and ankle, but not really ankle, more hip, knee. And you want to count back, maybe? I don't know. That's stupid.
Yeah, the thing is with deadlift, let's say you get halfway up and you're like, oh, I'm not going to be able to get this. You set it down. Squat, you get halfway down, where are you going? Like,
You ain't going up.
yeah. You know what I mean? So that probably matters more as staying consistent in your form, whatever the form is.
Ooh, here's a good question, or here kind of a piggyback off. What lift benefits the most from being biomechanically correct from that? Like, not like actual form technique, but like people with shorter legs or shorter arms have higher bench press and squats.
Bench.
Yeah, it has to be bench, right?
Yeah.
But there are
if you're tall and you're squatting, I would say that's it's going to be
harder.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, does the people with shorter legs?
Yes, it's easier.
I understand. People with shorter legs benefit more from having shorter legs while squatting, or do people with shorter arms and shorter wingspans benefit more from bench?
Would you rather have shorter arms for bench press or shorter legs for squat? That's what you're asking.
I'm saying which one benefits more.
You just added a would you rather.
Someone should study that. That'd be a great systematic review.
Probably.
Randomized control
I'm
trial.
gonna go with the bench, shorter arms,
Right,
because there's less joints involved. There's less range of motion overall.
So, like, if you take
the bar path is less. You're not going as far down.
If you take an inch off your arms, that's what I'm trying to say. If you take an inch off your femurs or an inch off your arms, your wingspan, your bench is going to go up more than your squat did. Proportionally. Proportionally.
Probably.
Right. So, would you sacrifice an inch of wingspan or an inch of legs for a greater squat or bench?
I would rather have T-Rex arms and long legs.
Well, an inch, it's here. It's not like you're...
Yeah.
You might not be very good at shooting a basketball anymore. Yeah, you get really into the deep soccer there. Brant's a great shooter of basketball, by the way.
You should have seen me this Sunday. I had 4 air balls.
Really?
I didn't score a point in the first game.
Seriously?
Yes.
Wow.
I've never shot that worse in my entire life.
That's not like you, man.
No, it was embarrassing.
No, you're one of
I
the
wanted
better shooters I've
to
ever
put a
seen.
sweatshirt on and cover my face, but I had to play another game.
I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna have to get back into the gym,
Will
grind it out.
Brant win this Sunday at volleyball or at basketball?
Basketball's over. It was playoffs, so.
Oh.
The answer could be no.
Should we ask about volleyball this week?
No. This has been episode 27. Mostly PT Pod out.
We'll see you in the next one.